Hey everyone, and welcome to This Explainer. Today, we are diving into something that is fundamentally shifting the ground right beneath the entire artificial intelligence industry. We're going to unpack the structural framework of how people actually get paid for the specific data that powers AI outputs. Because for years, the black box of AI has just consumed vast, honestly unfathomable amounts of human knowledge. It's ingested the internet, synthesized it, and spit out these seemingly novel outputs. But trying to trace the value of those outputs back to the actual original human creators, well, that has remained an incredibly complex, almost impossible puzzle. But today, we're examining a systemic solution designed to break that puzzle wide open. We're going to explore the architecture of impact-based data attribution, known as Codatta. All right, let's jump straight into Section 1, the value of past knowledge, and how we are completely rethinking AI's foundation. I want you to really think about this quote for a second. Every model decision reflects past knowledge. It's so true, right? The fundamental reality of artificial intelligence is that it doesn't just invent answers out of a vacuum. When a model makes a highly specific decision, or generates a piece of complex art, or synthesizes a string of advanced code, it is directly mirroring the human intelligence that shaped its internal weights and biases. The true complexity here lies in untangling this massive web. Because for a long time, the tech industry has treated all this past knowledge as an open, collective resource, just a massive pool to draw from without giving any individual recognition. But your specific knowledge, your past contributions, are the literal fuel for tomorrow's technological advancements. The challenge isn't acknowledging that the data is in there. The real challenge is figuring out how to untangle millions of parameters to honor and frankly reward the specific knowledge being utilized in any given exact microsecond. So what is Codatta? Well, it is defined as the architecture of impact-based data attribution. And it's absolutely crucial to understand that this isn't just some theoretical concept or a flimsy post-processing patch. No, this is an operational layer. It's a structural framework built directly into the AI's processing pipeline, sitting intelligently right between the inference engine and the data ledger. It was literally designed from the ground up to solve this exact attribution problem systematically, ensuring that creators get fair credit exactly when their specific knowledge is successfully utilized to form an AI's output. Okay, moving right along to Section 2, tracing inferences to data, the micro to macro journey. Let's actually break down the mechanics of how this architecture functions. It's like a chain reaction. The process kicks off with Step 1, the query. That's simply where a user prompts the system, and this immediately triggers Step 2, the inference, which is that exact moment the model generates its response. Now, Steps 1 and 2, pretty standard across all AI interactions, but the massive technical hurdle is solved in Step 3, data attribution. Because neural networks are made up of billions of parameters, tracing a single output backward to a specific piece of source data is a monumental task. But Codatta basically maps the activation pathways of an inference backward, identifying the exact data vectors that contributed to that specific decision. And once the system successfully isolates that source, boom, we arrive at Step 4, fair credit. The loop closes organically, and it accurately recognizes the original knowledge provider. Ensuring fair credit at the inference level is a profound, and I mean profound, departure from the current status quo. Right now, the standard model is all about bulk scraping. A massive data set gets compiled, purchased, or acquired during that initial training phase. And maybe, just maybe, a creator might be compensated once, like fractions of a penny, if they're lucky, regardless of whether their data gets queried once or 10 million times over the next 5 years. Inference-level attribution changes that entire relationship. We are talking about recognizing and assigning value exactly where and when the model makes its decision. Every single time your past knowledge is actively inferred by the model to create a successful output, it triggers attribution. It takes this static, one-time transaction and transforms it into an active, ongoing relationship between you, the data creator, and the AI model. Which brings us to Section 3, impact-based rewards explained. We're looking at a totally new paradigm for value. So historically, data contributors might have earned value based merely on access or visibility. It was a very passive model. You provided a data set, it sat in some repository, and its value was determined simply by the fact that it existed or how often someone viewed it. But the new paradigm completely flips the script. Now it relies on how that data actually powers real-world outcomes. Value isn't just derived from storing information anymore. It's derived from utility. If your specific piece of knowledge consistently leads to high-quality, accurate AI decisions that solve real-world problems, its value scales up accordingly. It's essentially a meritocracy of data based entirely on tangible, measurable impact. And this precise impact, it's measured and attributed on-chain.
Now, utilizing blockchain technology here is not just some flashy secondary feature, it's uniquely suited to solve the massive trust deficit we currently have in artificial intelligence. Think about it. When an AI model generates millions of inferences a day, tracking fractions of a cent in value for millions of disparate contributors requires a ledger that is strictly immutable. It has to be capable of processing microtransactions without all that massive centralized overhead. Furthermore, recording these inference impacts on-chain completely removes the need for us to blindly trust a centralized AI corporation to honestly report how often they utilized your specific data. The measurement of your data's impact becomes a mathematically verifiable, transparent, and entirely secure process. No blind trust required.
Now for Section 4, flexible on-chain payout options, let's talk about adaptable rewards. To actually distribute these microtransactions effectively, the architecture supports multiple reward types, and each one serves a very distinct strategic purpose for contributors. First, you have stablecoins. These provide immediate volatility-free value, acting essentially as direct fiat compensation for high-frequency data usage. Then, there are liquidity tokens. These allow contributors to participate in the deeper network economics, giving them utility within broader decentralized ecosystems. And finally, we have royalty-based payments. This offers a fundamentally different approach, allowing data creators to essentially invest in the long-term success of the models they're powering. If a model becomes a massive hit because of your underlying data, the royalty structure ensures you, the original creator, scale right alongside that success. It's this exact flexibility that allows the architecture to integrate seamlessly into incredibly diverse business environments, whether you're an independent artist working from home or a massive enterprise data provider. So, I want to leave you with this final crucial question. What is your past knowledge truly worth when it powers tomorrow's model decisions? Because for the first time, we actually have the architectural framework to measure, trace, and reward that exact worth right at the moment of inference. This is a profound shift, guys. It completely redefines the economic relationship between human intelligence and machine learning. It's finally moving us away from a model of passive extraction and stepping into one of active, verifiable partnership. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and definitely keep an eye on how this space evolves.